Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday, November 9th. And I'm going to do a little bit different thing again, right? With your astronumerology reading with yours truly, Shaman Dr. Fryson. And let's get into it. So today is November 9th, and this is the ninth day of the 11th month. Remember what the 11 brings lessons and blessings. 11 is a master number, a master teacher. So you can always expect that during the month of November, you're going to, on a high vibration, be learning from a guru, or on a low vibration, just focusing on your partnerships. The ninth day is about endings, about the Father. So you could also have lessons from the Father. You can have information being shared with you from the Father or about the Father or about a masculine figure, someone that you look up to and respect, someone who carries that authority energy, who can offer you guidance. And we are in a ninth year. So this is a spiritual evolution. And perhaps some of you will be liberated today because of a conversation that you have with this father figure, this guru, this person who allows you to be yourself, right? That's the energy of today. Now, there's a subtext to this energy. There's always multiple subtexts to the energy. So let me give you the whole subtext. So there's a seven energy that is happening with this overall 11, 9, and 9. And remember when, if you work with Dr. Fryson numerology, right, specifically Dr. Fryson astronumerology, because I have different insights, you have to take the overall energy and you have to take the individual energies. So today is also the 313th day of the year, which is a seven. But it is a seven energy that involves two threes. And the threes are about communication, they're about hobbies, they're about what you believe in and how you get that information to the world. So the one is about the self, the body, the person, right? The part of you that you're with all the time, the leadership aspect within yourself, because we're adding up to a seven. So part of the energy is that you have to have the ability to one, have fun, and two, communicate clearly who you are and be authentic about it. That's one energy that's coming today. So, with that energy being there, you go back to the two, and that means that you may have to let go of some relationships. You may have to find out that some friendships are outdated. And so they come to the nine, which is the ending. So they end. Now's the time for you to say goodbye to some of those relationships because they are actually lower vibrations in your life instead of the 11 vibration. They aren't allowing you to grow and become the best version of yourself, which is what you are seeking. Okay. So that's the seven energy. If you abstract the seven energy from the 313 to the basic November 9th energy, the basic November 9th energy is two in general, and definitely a great day for partnerships, but it's also the orator. It's also a great day for communicating, speaking things into existence, reflecting on what it is that you would like to see happen and speaking it, verbalizing it. Do that in your walking meditation where you're manifesting while you're walking, or even simply just going through your house, or in my case, your RV, saying, I'm going to have a new life. I have a new life. I love my new life, right? It is a day of professing. And it is also about what you are valuing today. And perhaps you have to take a look at what you have been holding on to that you thought you valued and you realize you don't value it anymore. Therefore, you need to let that go. Let go of outdated things, just like old clothes. Donate it, right? Some things that we value out of a place of trauma. As you heal and recover from the trauma, you no longer need to hold on to those things. Okay. So, and again, remember, if you guys know your chart, your astrology chart, apply these numbers specifically to the houses. So specifically to the second house, the seventh house, the ninth house, the 11th house, and look at what planet is actually in that particular house. Because today you will have some energy associated with that house. The last part of the numerological energy, tongue twister, is the 42, because we technically have 42 days left in this year. And 42 is the day of family, building with family relationships, partnerships. So this could mean that over the next 42 days, you may be building a new family, a new version of family. Some of you will be, today is the start of a new relationship for you, and you're laying the foundation for what that looks like. Some of you, it is also your family is literally buying a house. You're looking at or moving to an apartment, to a condo, to something. You're literally preparing by the end of the year to actually transition into a new residence. So that's part of it. The other aspect of it is looking at your mother and the health of your mother and your role in the health of your mother, and actually having the conversations with your mom and discussing that health aspect, looking back over your home life and seeing perhaps how your home has impacted some unhealthy thinking that you may have, and trying to redirect that, reconstruct that. That means taking away, deconstructing the old ideas and constructing new ideas. You may spend the next 42 days in meditation over that, praying over that, however it is that you can commune with the highest version of yourself. These next 40 days, 42 days, will see that become a theme for you. All right. So then let's look at the actual astrology. Remember, this is based out of the New York Eastern Coast, November 9th. And we're going to start with, and again, your individual chart would be slightly different because of who you are, right? But for the world, we are looking at a Pisces energy. And a Pisces energy, that's how we're starting out the day, this portion of the day at the time that I'm making this video. And so we're looking at the Pisces energy with the Saturn energy. So this means that the person, you, has ideas, has thoughts, is dreaming, there's up in the air. And the energy is allowing you to bring those to earth, make them real, do the actual work related to making the dreams become a reality. That's how we start. There's also a couple of things. Definitely a lot of people right now are into the research about the mysteries of life, the occult things of life. That's illuminated right now. Astrology is illuminated right now. Numerology is illuminated right now. Death is illuminated right now. A lot of people are really concerned with the transition. So you may find yourself joining my school and actually learning more about frequency and vibrations and energy, astrology, numerology, death and transitions and death doulas, because there is an overall focus on that. And there seems to be a lack of balance. And so there's a kind of some people who are trying to marry who they are in their religious life with this spiritual thing that they can't deny, right? Because there's so much uncovering that they can't really ignore that these things are true, although they've been taught to hate them. So there's a little bit of imbalance, and some people are trying to find the balance in what they believe and what they accept as real. We still also have that energy of that little antagonistic energy here. And that's going to be there for a while, because that's the Mars and Mercury. And the Mars and Mercury is in the ninth house. And in this case, Mars is in Scorpio. And Scorpio is Mars. So guess what? A lot of little antagonistic, a lot of military action, a lot of police action, a lot of things of that nature, a lot of laws being written to actually impact the ability of the law enforcement, the military to do things. because it's the details, and Mercury's in retrograde, which means we're trying to give more power to something. And Mercury doesn't like being in Scorpio, doesn't like this kind of energy. So it's kind of fighting against each other in a lot of ways. Okay. And let's see where that energy goes to, what are the areas that this is impacting. So the laws that are being written specifically are going to impact the home and the government or your career sector. So if you work in the government, the energy, the policing, the antagonistic energy is directly going to home and career or government or politics or those two areas. That's where it's at heavily today and going forward. And also remember 42, I mentioned 42, which someone pointed out, like, Ball, Chaswick Bowman. I may be mispronouncing his name. And the 42 associated with him, the 42 associated with Jackie Robinson. What these things are, they are significant transitions of people that change how we feel. And not just transitioning in the death realm, but transitioning in what they have done or what they accomplished. So that may come to light again today. There is a focus on children and the expansion of children. So there might be news about pregnancy. There might be news about your children moving. There might be news about your children going to school, getting accepted into some type of school. That is a focus of a highlight of energy starting now today. Let's move the energy. Let's move the energy forward and see how this works out. So definitely a new start in relationships for some people, because your house of relationships is going to be highlighted. And the good thing is that with this time and this season, Venus is passing through Libra. Venus is the ruler of Libra and the seventh house, right? So Venus loves this. Venus is like, yes, let's get these relationships going. The sun is there, which the sun has a huge affinity for Venus on some levels, because he's like, I want to take care of my baby, right? Sun don't really like being in that house, but that might bring a little bit of friction. Maybe you see someone, a masculine figure, who you might think might be a little bit more authoritative than you need for them to be, or even a feminine that you feel is a little bit more masculine than you need it to be. But this is a season of love. This isn't just cupping season. This is a season where people are finding someone. And that is happening more and more and more. And you'll hear more and more about it. And it might be an age difference in the relationships that you're seeing. Okay. And then that energy also is being highlighted by some of these relationships may be secretive. And a lot of them are going to be kind of an intuitive thing. You're going to meet someone that aligns with you mentally more than physically. Although Venus is about beauty and loves for things to look good, and the attractiveness is going to be more of a mental plane in this essence, not just the hey, you look good to me kind of thing. And then there is going to be a little bit more of an attack. I would expect to see an attack in a synagogue or someplace other than a Christian assembly, or someplace with differing belief system. I can see an attack going on in that area today as well. So let's move on. See how the energy plays out. If there's anything else significant for today. Today just really calls for a need for balance. There has to be balance in everything. You have to have balance in your relationships. You have to have balance in your health. You need to evaluate your home life. You need to evaluate your career life. And you cannot work with the explosive energy. There's a lot of explosive energy in your Kendra. And in the Kendra, that means that chaos can rule. But it is also a revelation. It's a lot of information coming out. It's a lot of intuition coming to fruition. So you already knew some of these things. You're just seeing evidence of it. That's what this day is. It is definitely a day where you're reflecting on some things. Move forward. You can also see a little bit of a caring energy related to your health and your body. Someone that you respect or love, kind of as a mother figure, might be concerned about you and express that today, and maybe encourage you to look into how you're taking care of yourself. And that can be physically, mentally, either one of those items. It's okay. Hold on, you guys. All right. Let's continue on with our where we were with this reading here. So as the day continues, again, a lot of intuition, a lot of things that you thought you knew, were going to be coming, showing up as, guess what? You're right. Your intuition is on point. There is another, there's a little bit of an Albert Einstein kind of energy going on today, which Albert Einstein was a considered to be an incredibly intelligent person and an inventive person. But there's some other energy about Albert Einstein. There's some readings that show that he wasn't necessarily the best person with his spouse, right? He took information from her. He took some of her ideas and used them as his own. These is the readings that's out there. So you may discover that someone that you're in partnership with or who's close enough to you is stealing your ideas, is using you for what you have to offer in the sense of a business, something that you're doing that's allowing them to progress. So you have to be careful. You have to make a decision as to, do I stay or do I go? Okay. Definitely more of an energy of, you must become aware of your diet. And if you have a desire to have a big business, because the focus is also on big business, if you're new in the beginning stages, you're going to have to break that idea up. It's not conducive for you to go and just launch the $500 million business. You're going to have to break it up into smaller points in order for it to be successful. Because if you start with trying to just do the whole thing, it's going to fail. If you break it and you're innovative about the pieces that you put out, it will be successful. So your success is up to you, is what it comes down to. Okay, let's go forward. Towards the evening, the focus will shift towards you, your body, and it will shift towards your children, your family, your disciples. So if you don't have children, that's the people that you're educating, and shift towards your freedom, shift towards your power, shift towards travel, your ability to do things. So you may be planning or making a schedule of how you're going to accomplish traveling to visit people, maybe for the holidays, maybe just because you want to see other places. That energy is a focus. I don't see international, so this is domesticated travel. So again, let's see. There is a little bit of international travel for a few of you, and it's only a small portion of you. And that travel is going to be because you're educating, you're teaching, it's a spiritual kind of journey. And some of you are being invited to go someplace internationally. The rest of you, it is domesticated travel. And you're going to visit your father, your mother, your kids. You're going to look at new places to stay, and some of you are purchasing new vehicles or new RV. So that's that energy that's coming. let's see, towards the evening, more of that focus is going to be there. Okay. And be careful in relationships because some of you have partners and your partners, your relationship is more like you want to mother them, you want to take care of them, but not let them fully be an individual. And some of your partners may have a little sharp tongue later on and be like, hey, no, stop. Let me be an adult. I can do some things on my own. And some of this could be because your partners have health concerns and health challenges, and you may want to do extra things for them. You have to balance the energy and allow a person to do what they can. And if they want your help, then you give the help. But too much mothering will cause explosive arguments in your relationship this evening. Okay. Another focus on some hard work, dedication today. All right. So, for those of you who are new, this is another format. I want to also let you guys know that I have opened a school, SKOOL, Dr. Fryson Frequencies. If you want to have access to my almanac for 2026 and all of those things that I will be putting out, you can go there. You can join the free version or the paid version. As of today, there's not a lot of content, but there will be more content coming. So I suggest joining the free version, and then you can get the other content when it comes out. I will do for this week individual daily readings like this just to, break things up and be able to spend a little bit more time on the energy that is out there. Okay. Let me know if you like it. Leave me a comment, share with your friends. It does help me, and it allows me to put my energy in areas that are useful. I don't like to waste energy. Be well.